Without further ado, what is the InCharge movement?
When people ask me over the years, what did you want to do when you grew up, where you were growing up? I said, well, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew the kind of woman I wanted to be, a woman in charge. Then people ask you, who is the woman you designed for? And I would say, the woman in charge. And in charge was very much always, and has always been, an ethos in our company. I had these T-shirts with in charge, and I know that even though my husband is very supportive always, but somehow I could feel that, why do I have to say in charge like that? And so I thought about it and I said, is being in charge aggressive? Because, you know, with the Me Too and Time Up and men who start saying, you know, oh, we are intimidated to take meetings with women and so on. They should only know how intimidated women have been in decades before that. And I say, well, what does it really mean to be in charge? And the truth is that being in charge is first and foremost a commitment to ourselves. I'm now at the time of my life that I'm an old woman. And I'm old, and I have lived so fully that I should be twice my age. I've been everywhere, I've met everyone, so I have a lot of experience. And I can tell you today that the secret of life is one thing: own it. Own your imperfection, they become your assets. Own your vulnerability, it becomes your strength. The most important relationship in life is the one you have with yourself. Once you have a good relationship with yourself, any other relationship is a plus and not a must. And that's a big difference, because you don't want to be needy. Being needy is not attractive, not sexy. And then in it also is the most valuable advice I have ever received from anyone. And it's from a man that I respect called Vartan Gregorian. And he received it from his grandmother, who survived the Armenian genocide 100 years ago. And she told him, she said, the only thing that you have 100% control of is your character. You could lose your health, you could lose your wealth, you could lose your freedom, you could lose your family, you could lose your beauty, but you never lose your character, even under torture. So, your character, the relationship you have with yourself, owning it, all of this is inside you, in a little house, in a shelter that is inside your heart, which is really where you find the core of your strength. Another wonderful key about life is expand your universe. Everyone is caught in their universe and in their business or in their company or in their family. And I think that to expand your universe is so important. So my thing is that at least once a week, you see somebody or you have a meeting or you really spend time with someone that normally you would not connect with. Sometimes you do it you pay attention and you give attention to somebody and you think you're doing it for them. But the truth is, if you really do it for them, it really expands your universe. And it's also very magical. Then inspire. I mean, people use a lot the word mentor. And sure, it's great and everything. It just gives me a tiny little bit of an allergy, because it just sounds a tiny little bit condescending. But mentoring is really inspiring, right? And so you cannot undermine the power of storytelling. And the most effective way to inspire is by talking about your vulnerability and your challenges. But what is the reality is sometimes people have the perception, or you are being recognized at the time for being very successful. You're on the cover of a magazine, you're doing this, you're doing that. The world acclaims you. Yet you know that it's not quite as great as it is, because you know some problems that you may be having. And the same way as when people look at you in the top and they think that, sometimes people think at you, oh, she's a has-been, not relevant anymore, right? And I mean, loser, whatever. And you know also that's not true, because you also know that you're making steps to go in the other direction.
What do you think is needed most when it comes to that last step, that advocate? Because obviously right now, especially where we are in the world, it's so polarized and everything is so complex right now, like we've never seen before. What is the best way to use our voices as women, as an InCharge woman or men supporting this to help really make space in such a needed place right now?
Advocacy and philanthropy can appear at the beginning of your life a little overwhelming, a little intimidating. I always compare it to landscaping. You know, oh my God, can I plant a tree, or can I take down a tree? I need an expert and this and that. And then, you know, you realize you plant the tree grows. You know, you don't like the tree, you pull the tree out. Normally, advocacy happens. It happens because of something that happened to you, or something that you, or some injustice that you saw, and then it becomes part of you, and then you get involved, and it's the it's again the chain of love. All of the things that I'm talking about form the chain of love.